We are entering the last session of the day and of the last 2 days, and tomorrow we'll start a very different theme and approach. And in a sense, this session is at the heart of all that we have been discussing the last more than 24 hours. All the difficulties we have seen in the colonization and Europeanization and the false values in management, economics, linguistics, arts, aesthetics, sciences, etc., etc., all go back to one single distinction. And it's a distinction of mindset. And I'm going to bring here an idea which Sri Aurobindo wrote about 100 years ago. He pointed out that there is a distinct character, a stamp of the Indian mind. Just as there is a distinct stamp and character and mold of a European mind. It's a general statement, but still. And he distinguished these two, described their specific characteristics, their advantages, their limitations, and so on. And what we are seeing in the colonization of India, the essence of that colonization was the colonization of the Indian mind. There's a very interesting discussion Sri Aurobindo has with a group of disciples, some of whom had gone through a formal European education in London and so on, doctor and other things. That's about 1938. And Sri Aurobindo says to them, all of you are already half European in your mind. And they don't understand what he's talking about. And this is the character of colonization, as Dr. Conrad Elst pointed out earlier. We are not even conscious that our minds have been colonized. And so how do you undo something that you don't even know? If you go deeper into the question, we recognize that the colonization of the mind is a violence, is a distortion, is a perversion, because inherently there is an imprint, a svabhava, a swadharma, which is the mold of the Indian mind. And although that is covered up, although that is even compressed, distorted or jailed, it still is somewhere inside. And so the recovery of that would involve a turning within and recovering ourselves more and more profoundly, and then re-articulating that in new terms, new forms, naturally expressive of it. But what about this phase of colonization? Why did it have to be there? The way I see it, if we are to look at the future of humanity and the mindset required for the future, it would distinctly have to be a mind which is inherently intuitive, which is multifaceted, multidimensional, multi-layered in its perceptions and its articulations and its vision. And in order for it to be complete, it must know all the possibilities of its moldings. And so if we look at it purely we try to give it a positive turn, the period of European stamp on the Indian mind can also be taken as a passage where we absorb something, experience something, and then recover the original temperament in a newly enriched, greater, wider, more flexible possibility.